Over 4,500 years ago, in the golden age of ancient Egypt, one man had a vision that would echo through time: Pharaoh Khufu. He didn't want just a tomb, he wanted a gateway to the afterlife. A monument to the gods, a legacy carved in stone. But building the largest pyramid the world had ever seen? That required planning, power, and a workforce like no other. So it began. On the Giza plateau, under the blazing Egyptian sun, the greatest construction project in human history was born. This is how it all started. To build a pyramid that would last forever, the location had to be perfect. Enter the Giza plateau, a raised bed of solid rock, high above the floodline of the Nile. Close enough to transport stone by river, far enough to avoid the rising waters, and perfectly positioned to align with the stars. With tools like ropes, plumb lines, and simple sighting devices, ancient surveyors leveled the ground with incredible accuracy, less than an inch off across 13 acres. This wasn't guesswork. It was science, ancient Egyptian style. Over 2 million blocks of limestone, granite, and basalt, some weighing more than 50 tons. Where did they come from? The soft limestone core was quarried right beside the pyramid. But the shiny white casing stones? They came from Tura, across the Nile. And the granite beams inside the king's chamber? They came from 800 kilometers away, Aswan. No machines, just copper tools, wooden wedges, and human strength. With the Nile as their superhighway, ancient engineers timed everything around the flood season. Giant wooden barges carried the heaviest blocks downstream, floating stones hundreds of kilometers. Once near Giza, they used sleds and wet sand to glide stones across the desert. It was slow, it was brutal, but it worked. Lifting 50-ton stones 150 meters in the air, with no cranes, no steel. How did they do it? Some say straight ramps, others imagine spirals around the pyramid. The most likely answer? A massive zigzagging ramp built from mud brick and limestone chippings, dismantled once the job was done. The real secret? Organization, planning, and generations of know-how. Forget the Hollywood myth. The builders weren't slaves. They were skilled workers, organized into rotating crews. Tens of thousands lived in nearby workers' villages, fed daily with bread, beer, and meat, all funded by the state. They worked in teams, left graffiti on the walls, and took pride in their craft. They weren't forced, they were honored. Beyond the outer blocks lies a maze of chambers and corridors. The king's chamber, with 50-ton granite beams above. The queen's chamber, still a mystery. And the grand gallery, a masterpiece of ancient engineering. And recently, scans revealed hidden voids never seen before. The pyramid is still full of secrets. The Great Pyramid wasn't always rough and weathered. It once gleamed like a diamond under the sun. Cased in polished white Tura limestone, its surface reflected sunlight across the desert. At the very top, a golden capstone, shining for miles. Over time, earthquakes and looting stripped the casing away. But once, this was a beacon of eternity. Each side of the pyramid faces exactly one of the 4 cardinal directions. Its dimensions are nearly perfect, down to the centimeter. Coincidence? Not likely. The ancient builders used stars, shadow tools, and math we're only now beginning to understand. Some believe it encodes sacred geometry, even the golden ratio. It wasn't just architecture, it was a message. 4,500 years later, no building has inspired more wonder. The Great Pyramid is the only surviving wonder of the ancient world, and we're still uncovering its secrets. From hidden chambers to cosmic connections, the story of the pyramid isn't over, it's just beginning. What will we discover next?